I'm Jeff Hunt. He's Bill Thorpe. It's Friday.
I keep smelling bacon. Where's the bacon? Gotta find the bacon. Where is it? We're at a breakfast meeting.
Yeah, we are at a breakfast. You can smell it.
Bacon.
It smells great.
Yeah, I know.
We're down here at the Douglas County
bacon?
Legacy Campus for the South Metro Denver Chamber Economic Forecast Breakfast of 2026. Bottom line, what's business going to look like? How are the different industries going to develop? I just ran into a guy that does insurance down here. We're going to talk with Travis Bockenstedt coming up here in a second with regards to healthcare. They have a great lineup. Debbie Brown's going to be down here. She's well known in conservative and business circles. She's the chair of the Colorado Business Roundtable. We're also going to talk or hear from here Rob Cohen, National Women's Soccer League, and the CFO of Colorado State University down here, all giving us insight. So be sure to tune in.
Yeah, and here in a little bit, we're going to have the Douglas County School District Superintendent joining us. We're going to have the Vice President of Communication and Philanthropy of Christian Living Communities coming on. Representative CEO of Healthcare Skyridge is coming on, and we're also going to chat with the Vice President of Communications for Farm Box Foods. And those are all scheduled this morning.
So, not going to want to miss this. Now is time for the news. Great.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Good morning. Happy Friday. 23 and mostly clear in Denver, expecting a high of 49 today. News is sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story, Don Lemon is in federal custody.
His lawyer says he was arrested in Los Angeles last night while there to cover the Grammy Awards. Lemon's arrest comes after he entered a St. Paul, Minnesota church earlier this month during an anti-ICE protest. Lemon has said he was covering the protest as a journalist. Multiple arrests have been made in connection with the protest, but a federal appellate court refused to order a lower court to sign an arrest warrant for Lemon. It's not clear what charges Lemon is facing. In Los Angeles, I'm Michael Kastner.
Adams 14 and Boulder Valley school districts making modifications to their schedules today, and Aurora Public Schools canceling classes today due to anticipated staff shortages. Now, why would that be? Well, they said they can't operate safely because of staff absences. That may be because of a nationwide protest against federal illegal immigration activity. That's going on today. Kevin Warsh is DJT's pick to be the new chair of the Fed. 47 announced on Truth Social his choice to replace Jerome Powell this morning. Warsh served as Fed governor from 2006 to 2011 and has supported lowering interest rates. The president said Warsh will go down as one of the greatest Fed chairmen. NBC's Gary Grumbach.
And one of the questions that I'm sure is going to come up is, if Donald Trump tells you to do something, will you do it, right? The answer should be no, right? And we'll see what the answer ends up being from Kevin Warsh here as he is the nominee to be the Fed chair.
Well, Lindsey Graham is holding up a bipartisan deal to keep the government open. Government funding expires at midnight, and lawmakers on Capitol Hill reached a deal last night that would pass 5 full-year spending bills. 47 declaring a national emergency over Cuba. DJT signed an executive order on Thursday stating the policies, practices, and actions of Cuba constitute a threat to U.S. national security. The order also creates a new mechanism to impose tariffs on any nation that supplies oil to Cuba. A pedestrian has been hospitalized after being hit by an RTD train in South Denver. Police say the pedestrian was hit in the 4300 block of East Colorado Center Drive near the Colorado Bus and Rail Station around 4:45 in the afternoon on Thursday. Information about the extent of the pedestrian's injuries was not released. Nuggets with a victory last night, 107-103 over the Brooklyn Nets. Jamal Murray, 27 points. The Avalanche lose to the Canadiens 7-3, the final, second straight loss. College hoops coming up tomorrow. We've got CSU at Wyoming. 19 in Castle Rock, 22 in Westminster, 23 in Denver. You're waking up with Jeff and Bill. They've got some special guests this morning. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
While there will be a weak weather system producing a few snow showers in Colorado's mountains this morning, nothing going on for the Front Range. Highs will be in the 40s, partly cloudy today. Lows tonight, low to mid-20s. Mid to upper 40s Friday, 20s Friday night. Highs will be into the 50s for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Increasingly cloudy, trending a little bit cooler Tuesday and Wednesday. Small Pacific system will come in during that time frame, producing maybe a few snow showers, but nothing major. Otherwise, quiet conditions will continue. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show, broadcasting live from the South Metro Denver Chamber of Commerce Economic Forecast Breakfast. We are basically going to be hearing from business leaders across different industries with regards to what's the forecast look like?
Yeah.
How are things doing in Colorado? Is it going to be a good year for businesses? Is it going to be a tough year for businesses? That's what we're going to be hearing from. But we're also going to have a number of friends coming by. One of them we met at this event last year. Travis Bockenstedt with Pinnacle. He joins us now. Good morning, Travis. Thanks for joining the Jeff and Bill Show.
Yes, good morning.
Thanks for having me on the show and supporting the chamber and our economy.
Absolutely.
It's a great day today here.
It is, and you also sit on the Symphony of the Rockies board. You are a entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, but I'm fascinated because you have entered the healthcare industry, a very complicated industry, by trying to provide free market solutions. Tell us all about Pinnacle.
Yeah, so Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care is a membership-based primary care practice. Our number one core goal is to restore family medicine. We know that when we can get back to a preventive system of healthcare instead of a reactive one, we can create big change. There's $1.3 billion worth of medical debt here in Colorado alone. Wow. And a lot of that debt is preventable if we can reduce things like heart attack, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and that can all be done with your primary care physician. So we've divorced insurance, and we've turned our practice into a membership like a gym membership.
So somebody joins it and there's a monthly fee associated with it, or explain the business practice, how it all works, what it costs.
Yeah.
Who are some of your clients?
So we work with over 250 small businesses from South Denver down to Pueblo. And for $79 a month, an employee can get unlimited access to our practice with no co-pays, deductibles, or office visit fees. So you just pay that membership and come as often as you need, and we can do about 90% of all your healthcare needs. Coughs, sniffles, blood work, men's, women's health, all of that right in the clinic. So think about for those, 40, 50 years ago who remember the family doctor that you could call, go in, pay cash, that is what we're restoring.
That's fascinating. So give us your background getting into this. You're the CEO, the president, you're the founder of Pinnacle, aren't you?
One of the founders.
So,
we were founded by 2 physicians here in Colorado. I fell into it by accident. I think some of us have things that happen in our life that we can't ignore and that we want to change. So I was a small business owner, and I paid 100% of my healthcare benefits for my team. And I had an anxiety attack as a young entrepreneur. I think anybody who's done entrepreneurship, it's hard.
Yes.
So I get admitted to the ER for about 9 hours, and it was a $26,000 bill afterwards.
Wait, hold on. Did they do surgery on you?
Monitoring, literally. All I needed was a doctor to say, breathe into a paper bag like you're having an anxiety attack. But I had no good family doctor.
They charged you $26,000.
26 grand. I marched my rear into the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Threw the bill in front of the face of the doctor, and he goes, I don't know how much healthcare costs. I said, you don't know
The
how much?
doctor said that?
No idea. I don't know how much you get billed. And it sent me down this rabbit hole of something is fundamentally wrong with the system, and we need to change it. So I sold my business and became a full-time evangelist for the direct primary care movement for the past 7 years.
All right. There's so much. So, by the way, we're talking with Travis Bockenstedt with Pinnacle. Pinnacle
Advanced
PC.
Primary
Advanced
Care.
Primary
It's
Care.
such a long name.
But pinnaclepc.com, right? Is the website?
APC.com. Pinnacle APC.
Pinnacleapc.com. By the way, he's handing out these awesome little Travis travel wellness kits. Travis is handing out the travel wellness kits today, these are really nice. These are sinus decongestant, pain reliever, antacids, dental floss band. This is
all the stuff you wish you had when you need it.
Okay, so you just go through something as simple as let's make sure you're not having a stroke or a heart attack.
Yeah.
Right? That's essentially what the hospital was figuring out.
Yeah.
And they charged you $26,000. So did you call the insurance company? Did you call the hospital? Did you negotiate that down? Did you take out a loan to pay it? What did you do?
It was really difficult. So it was before we closed some of these loopholes and surprise medical bill laws that have come through, right? So essentially, the bill went to collections. I
wouldn't pay that either.
Yeah,
pound sand.
Exactly. And I didn't know how to be an advocate for myself back then.
Yeah.
But come to find out, 6,000 of that was lab work. And when I got into the DPC movement, I went back and seen how much would that lab work would have cost cash pay?
Yeah.
Less than $150.
Right.
So how do you go from $150 to a $6,000 markup? That
fraud.
When we think of the free market, there has to be some reality in the purchasing process.
Exactly right.
And healthcare is not a free market at all. There's no competition.
Yep.
And it's breaking America. The middle class.
Travis, you're exactly right, because I was a philosophy major, religion major stuff, but as later in life I've gotten into reading Thomas Sowell and some of the Austrian economists, those types of guys. And what I've come to understand is the beauty and the actual democracy behind the exchange of a dollar for a service or a good. Face to face, right? Because it can be negotiated. Somebody goes $6,000 for lab work. You're like, what?
Right.
I'm not going to pay that, right? And you would negotiate it back down to something that's more reasonable, like you said, $150. Okay, I need to know some information. There's a value. $150 makes sense, but yet with the insurance model and with government intervention as well, and the lack of transparency and the lack of exchange, they can do that.
Yeah.
And they're getting away with it.
They're completely getting away with it. And I tell, here's the thing. People are fear-mongered into the status quo of healthcare. It is the most personal buying decision you'll ever make.
That's right.
And a lot of people are very reluctant to move to new healthcare models. Trump, I know he's trying to do some stuff to put HSAs back in the hands of the consumer. I think the problem is consumers don't know how to shop for their healthcare. If someone said, Jeff, hey, the tires on your car are going to cost $5,000. You're going to look at them and go, no, that's not market rate for tires.
Right.
And you're going to go shop around for a good cost. But I don't think the consumer knows what truly is the cost of care.
And I also think the consumer doesn't have a chance to shop, Travis, because when our health care is tied to our employer, we always talk about the idea of the free market and choice in healthcare. Your employer chooses your health care, not you.
Right.
The consumer, the end user of the healthcare doesn't. It's based on the best deal for the employer, and there are tax breaks that are involved and other things. And of course, the employer gets a better deal based on the larger number of employees they are bringing, but it doesn't mean the employee ends up getting a better deal. And you're not even offered two different forms of healthcare. Like, you can't be offered one company or another. You're just offered two tiers of the same company. There is no choice involved at all.
And they're all in cahoots with each other.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Right? So, I mean, just to the listeners out there are a lot of great folks doing the right thing, bringing free market healthcare back to the market. Businesses are the biggest purchasers of healthcare. And I think we need to help them discover some new ways, because what we're finding is people are becoming functionally uninsured. So they have insurance, but they can't afford to use it.
Yep. Your deductible's too
Yeah,
high.
you're right.
Your deductible's too high. You can't afford to have certain surgeries. We talk about the idea of getting to a single payer and that the danger is rationing. In America right now, with the current system we already have self-rationing. We already have families that are making choices. They have insurance, but they're making choices to not have medical care be done because of deductible, because of total cost. And so we're self-rationing already. We're already at that point.
Yeah, we are completely.
So Pinnacle, people go to your location for treatment on some basic stuff. They're not going to get brain surgery.
No.
But they're going to cover a lot of what you need for a very low cost, $79 a month, right? Is that
And
right?
$185 for a whole family to join the practice.
Per month?
Per month.
Okay, $185 for the whole family.
Yep. And then we have couples and single parent rates, but that's essentially
Talk to me about the services you provide. We have a pediatrician, for instance. And there's some co-pays there, general annual wellness checkups. If they're sick, might need some antibiotics. What services would you provide to a family like that?
Yeah, full scope a family practice. So everything from, women's health to men's health. A lot of men are getting charged a lot of money for testosterone treatment and all that stuff. We can do it pennies on the dollar. The magic sauce here, because, we're talking about economics today, is if we accept insurance at our practice, 40% of our revenue would go to billing you. We would have to hire medical billers and coders, all this stuff, and my physicians would have to see 20 to 30 patients a day. We get rid of that. My physicians see 6 to 10 patients a day, an average of 40 minutes per encounter. So you have that one-on-one time with your doctor. You get your doctor's contact information like the old days, so you can text, contact them on the weekend and holidays. So, really bringing the family doctor back of what they used to do, and they can actually do a lot when they have time and are not handcuffed by big healthcare and big insurance.
That's Travis Bockenstead with Pinnacle Insurance. Pinnacle
Advanced Primary Care. Yeah,
Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care.
Yeah, not workman's comp.
Yeah.
I get calls from them sometimes.
Now, I got a question for you, Travis. Now, it sounds really, really nice, but then I'm certain you're going to drop the other shoe and say, well, the doctors are only available if you climb this mountain and you have the special key to open it, and it's only when the sun sits right at this certain area. In other words, I'm just saying that it sounds so good, but is the catch the fact that the doctors are so inaccessible that I'm going to have to pack a lunch and go somewhere, like, drive 35, not that, an hour and a half to get to see them because you have such a small community of doctors? Or what's the access to care like?
Yes, we start in Colorado Springs. We have 2 brick-and-mortar clinics there. We just opened a new clinic by the airport here, so not far, off of Broncos Parkway. We do want to have another one North Metro. But here's the deal. Traditional healthcare will force you to come into the doctor's office for a lab review because they get to charge you a facility fee.
Yep. And they have to see you. Yep, they have to see you and sign you off. Yep.
Yeah, and more than half of our care can be done virtually. So we just need to see you once in person for a baseline, but we can do a lot of work virtually, and our patients are guaranteed same-day, next-day visits.
Ooh, wait. So did you just say same-day, next-day visits guaranteed?
Same-day, next day.
And doing it on the Zoom?
You could do a virtual call, an in-person call.
Wow.
But, and here's
so you can go see the doctor in your pajamas.
You can.
As an adult.
Right.
That's awesome.
We cap our doctors at 700 patients.
Yeah.
The average here in town is about 3,500 patients per primary care.
Wow.
Yeah. Would you want that job? I wouldn't want that job.
No. And it makes sense why at times you feel like it's an assembly line at the doctor's office. And it also makes sense why you're looking around the doctor's office and you start doing a head count thinking, these people aren't all doctors and nurses, that there's a large head count of those bean counters and those people that have to fill out the billing forms and everything else.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at the primary care physician I go to at how large that billing department and the people that have to do the accounting are in there. Yeah, it keeps growing.
We don't even do medical billing or coding at our practice. We don't need to. We don't need to submit a claim to get paid back because you guys are just paying the membership fee that covers all the services.
Travis, tell us how small businesses can partner with you.
So here's a good example. If you're a landscaper, you own a small coffee shop, law firm, etc., we work with mainly companies, 5 to 25 employees, our sort of main meat of business. And if you just want to treat your team well and make sure they're healthy and can show up to work, that's what we're here for. And if you need help with the bigger expenses, we have connections in town, too, to build a full benefits package. But if you want to do the right thing for your guys out in the field or the folks working for you, they will appreciate a good family doctor.
Now, that's incredible, and I think you should. If you've got a small business and you've been shopping around, go look at Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care, because we know that in that small entrepreneur window, that medical coverage is incredibly important. One, because it is a huge bite out of your annual budget. Number two, it is a great recruitment and retention tool that you can use with your people. That if your small business has a really good healthcare program, guess what? That person is going to talk to someone else and going to talk to someone else that's in a job, and they're going to brag about how good your company is taking care of them based on the health care. Also means they're less likely to be tempted by a little bit extra money across the hall because they know they're going to lose out on the healthcare access, and especially the healthcare is going to cost them more. So that offer of more money isn't as attractive because they know it's going to be eaten up.
You just come and work for me?
He's good at that. That's Travis Bockenstedt with Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care. Go to pinnacleapc.com.
Contact them today.
Pinnacleapc.com. Check out the work that they're doing. And if you're here at the South Metro Denver Chamber of Commerce breakfast, go check out their Travis Wellness, Wellness kick. Their Travis Wellness.
I'm Travis Wellness. I like that. Travis Wellness.
Travis Wellness kick.
We should.
There you go. Real quick, give us an update on Symphony of the Rockies.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Symphony of the Rockies, we've got Rachmaninoff coming up at the end of February. It's going to be an amazing concert
awesome.
at Newman Auditorium. So come and join us. I think music is one of the rare human uniters where we all come together to experience something great.
Which is what happens on the show. We come together, right, left, center. And I got to go to the holiday performance you guys did at DU, and it was so much fun for the family. So check it out. All right, Travis Bockenstedt, thank you.
Travis. Appreciate
Lots of people coming by to give him a high five. They love the service he provides. Travis, thank you for your time today.
Thanks, guys.
Yes,
all right,
thank you,
we'll
sir.
continue. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. We're down here at the South Metro Denver Chamber. Deborah Flora sitting in with us.
Yeah.
Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning. That was some great music. It got me going better than coffee.
There you go.
Bebopping right here.
How you been?
I've been great.
Give us an
Great.
update.
Oh, doing great. You know, we had an amazing event this week. I'm the founder of Parents United America. We hosted the National School Choice Week celebration.
Oh, nice.
And you know what's really exciting about that is there's a National Federal Tax Credit Scholarship Program. It can be absolutely game-changing
big deal.
because every single person, by the way, hear this as you're preparing your taxes. Think ahead. Every American can give $1,700 towards scholarships. I'm also on the board of ACE Scholarships, the largest scholarship granting organization in the country. And on Tuesday, Governor Jared Polis reiterated his commitment to be the first Democratic state to opt into it. So that was a bright day for Colorado.
That made me spit my coffee out. The fact that he jumped in, it was great. It was fantastic that he did it. But man, what?
I know.
Jared's pretty good at.
I got to introduce him last year when he did the resolution, and this time he actually seemed really happy to be there. So that was nice.
That's a plus.
Well, it's his last one, right?
I know, right. But that's been great. So school choice, I've actually been spending the last year traveling around advancing school choice policy around the nation, and it is exciting what is going on in the in the freedom education movement.
Well, I think what we're seeing today with so many schools shutting down. Did you see the entire Aurora School District shut down over these ice out protests? Where I'm like, look, all right, if you're a progressive family, you want to raise your kids that way, whatever. But there's a lot of people out there that are like, I don't want the politics. I just want my kids to be able to read. And now they're not even going to school because all the teachers are taking the day off to go protest ICE? Are you kidding me?
I know, Jeff, and we've been talking about this for a long time. When we made the movie Whose Children Are They in 2022, it was released nationwide. This is what we were hoping to see, because when we all got down there and testified against the comprehensive sex ed bill in 2019, nobody was aware. And then we put the movie out. It's still getting shown everywhere. COVID woke people up, and this is the result now. There is actually one of the people in our movie, Alex, who is with Public School Exit. He projects that if we keep it this trajectory, by the year 2030, half of school-age children will not be in public school. And listen, if you like your public school, that's fine. But choice is everything, because every student learns differently.
Quality is really everything. And you don't get it if you don't have choice, because competition forces quality to improve in every other aspect of our lives.
Yeah, and one of the biggest fallacies, myths, I would say, that people have against the school choice movement is they think it's going to hurt local teachers. Yeah. It has been shown over and over again, where there is school choice, teachers' pay goes up because there's competition for good teachers.
Well, speaking of that, Erin Kane, superintendent of Douglas County Schools, is right there. We're going to bring her up.
Okay.
Deborah Flora, thanks for joining
great
us.
To see you. Nice
good to
little
see you.
surprise.
How can people follow you online?
Well, I have a show with Mandy, which is on Independence Institute TV, IITV. The Mandy and Deb Show, very, originally named. And stay tuned. Lots of good stuff coming out.
That's awesome.
Good to see you.
So fun.
Okay,
great to see you. That's Deborah Flora. Follow her. Mandy Connell. They got a program going on together. All right, she's coming to sit down. Speaking of education, hot in the news. Well, hello. Former Speaker of the House, Frank McNulty's coming by here. Now CU Regent. Good to see you. Erin Kane, superintendent. Wow.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here. I'm already sitting up straighter, knowing that I'm sitting next to the superintendent.
I just want to know if any kids call you Super Nintendo. That's a Simpsons reference.
That is a new one.
Oh, I'm sorry. That means your kids are not ingrained in the Simpsons culture. Because that's a Ralph Wiggum statement,
Right. Well, give us an update. How are schools doing in Douglas County?
Oh, my goodness. They're doing fantastic. I'm so proud of Douglas County School District. Yeah, we are the top scoring school district in the Denver metro area in all areas. We're the only school district in the state that has narrowed the achievement gap since the pandemic in every area.
What do you attribute that to?
We focus on each and every student, and we're very data focused. So in all of our schools, we have professional learning communities where our teachers get together once a week and look at data on individual students to figure out exactly what each child needs in order to close any kind of gaps they're having, any kind of learning gaps. And the growth that our students have seen since the pandemic is extraordinary. We are far ahead where we were prior to the pandemic. And have been for a few years.
And you attribute that to data analysis, focus, and intentionality, really?
100%. Alignment and focus. Our entire system is aligned around the science of reading and numeracy, and we've made just tremendous progress. We're also really proud of the 90 pathways that we offer for post-secondary workforce readiness. In fact, here in this amazing building that we are sitting in, this is a Douglas County School District facility, and we offer many pathways here in partnership with higher education. So our students come to this campus and they're able to get transcripted credit from 5 different higher education institutions. So that when they leave our system, they're either career ready or they have a year or so off of college.
Now, that's Erin Kane, Superintendent of Douglas County Schools. How long have you been in your role?
I've been in my role for 4 years.
4 years.
And then I also served as the interim superintendent for 2 years from 2016 to 2018.
So you've been deeply involved with Douglas County for a while now.
Deeply.
Look, we all know the politics around school boards. How do you navigate all that? You had a shift, a changeover in the direction of the school board. Give us a sense of how you navigate that as the superintendent.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a really big believer that we all want the same thing, right? We all want the brightest future possible for our kids. And all of my school board members, past and present, have been really amazing at focusing on what is best for kids here in Douglas County and what we need as a system to be able to offer our students the best education possible. We stay out of the politics and really focus on our students and what they need to be successful. Academics, well-being.
Well, that's nice to hear.
That.
Yeah, that is nice to hear. Tell me about what you hear from teachers that their biggest needs and concerns are, and from parents.
Absolutely. I'm really, really proud of our teachers here in Douglas County. All of those accomplishments that I mentioned could not have happened without the incredible hard work of our teachers. In terms of their biggest needs, I think, we always struggle to pay competitively in Douglas County, although we are so much closer thanks to the approval of our taxpayers of a mill levy override. So we are now more competitive than we used to be in terms of our teacher pay. But from my perspective, taking care of our teachers is the very, very best thing I can do to make sure that our students thrive. Because when the people who take care of our kids are happy and love their jobs, our kids thrive, and they thrive academically. And it's amazing. So we work really hard to keep a really positive climate and culture here in Douglas County for all of our staff. Whether you're a teacher or a bus driver or a custodian, everyone contributes to the well-being and the success of our students.
What do you hear
really
from
look
parents?
At it that way. Our parents are pretty happy. I mean, they're in the #1 school district, so I think that really matters. Our parents really value academic success, and they really value that their students have a school that they love and feel safe in. One of the things that we are really proud of in Douglas County School District is our choice. We have incredible public school choice in Douglas County. 25% of our students attend one of our charter schools, and 75%.
That's high, because typically I think it's like 10% statewide. So
it's about 12, I think,
is
statewide.
It about 12 statewide?
Yeah.
So you're at 25%.
25% of our students attend one of our district-authorized charter schools, and 75% attend one of our incredible neighborhood schools. And, it's our goal to make sure that all of our parents feel like they have the education they always dreamed of for their students.
I mean, the critique sometimes is that when you offer school choice, some of the high-performing students will empty out of the government-run brick-and-mortar schools versus having them together, and that declines the quality of your schools. Do you see that in Douglas County?
Not in Douglas County. And in fact, I will tell you that, maybe 10 years ago, our top-performing schools often were our charter schools, but today 8 of our 10 top-performing schools are our neighborhood schools, and our charter schools are continuing to perform amazingly. So in terms of academic performance, All of our schools are neck and neck, which means that every single student thrives. And we really do feel like our parents have the school that they love. And if they feel like they need to make a change, they can do that in Douglas County within our amazing choice-based school system.
That's Erin Kane. She's the superintendent of Douglas County Schools. She's the top dog when it comes to the schools and managing them. We had parents on yesterday from the Cherry Creek School District in light of some of the changes. Any comments with regards to what's happening in Cherry Creek schools?
No, I guess my only comment would be that it's a really political job. It's become a really political job. So.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it just all that more challenging, and especially since COVID, I think it's made it all that more challenging.
But it seems like your take is just deliver results.
Yes, it is very much
right. And
deliver bright futures for every single child. That is 100% my take.
And that seems to cut through a lot of the politics. But go ahead.
I do got a question, Erin Kane, and talking about the achievement in the students. What right now is one of the largest hurdles or barriers the school district and the students are encountering? What is something that the students are having to overcome, something that you're working through? Again, and I'm coming at this because you're seeing success, so I'm asking about what's that major hurdle and then how you're overcoming it.
Yeah, that's a really great question. Actually, our students have changed, right? I mean, you know this. Our students have really fundamentally changed. Things like social media and devices, but it's actually more than that. For example, the percentage of students today that receive driver's licenses by the time they are seniors is almost half of what it was when I was growing up. I don't know about you guys, but I was standing outside the DMV the day I turned 16.
Yeah.
Today's students nationwide, about 45% of them get their driver's licenses before becoming a senior. So when you think about the skills that you and I gained when we got our driver's licenses, right? Our mom couldn't track us on our cell phone, right? We didn't have GPS. We had the Rand McNally Road Atlas map in the glove compartment, and we had to sort it out. So really working with our students to ensure that they still get those amazing skills that we gained outside of schools. Part-time jobs are actually very similar statistics. Not as many students have part-time jobs before they graduate from high school. And you think about the skills you gained having a part-time job. It turns out you have to go figure out your own schedule. No one's going to put a ribbon around it and hand it to you, right? And then when you don't show up, you get fired. It's a good time to learn that in high school.
And also, there's that work-life balance that you have to learn.
Absolutely.
Because you have to figure out how to carve out just enough time to get your work done at the same time to fulfill job responsibilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as a school system, we have to figure out how we can help fill in those gaps so that when our kids hit the workforce, they really have kind of those durable skills. It's more than just academic skills, right? Those durable skills that they really need to be successful in the workforce, where they have work ethic and motivation and all of those really perseverance, all of those really important skills. We need to be able to do those.
We're talking with Erin Kane, Superintendent, Douglas County School District. Final question. You've done a great job. Give us your forecast. We're here at the Economic Forecast Breakfast for the South Metro Denver Chamber. What does 2026 look like for Douglas County Schools?
2026 is very bright. We are implementing a new strategic plan. We're working to make sure that we get our kids all of those post-secondary workforce readiness skills that they need. We're working with so many partners right here in the Chamber of Commerce to ensure that we're developing the workforce pipeline that they need for their businesses. And you know what? Our graduates are about to hit this world, so the future is really bright.
There you go. Erin Kane, Superintendent, Douglas County School District. Thank you so much for your time. We'll continue.
Thank you.
You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710, KNUS.
It was great to to the Jeff and Bill Show. Billy, this place has filled up. Holy cow.
And I still haven't been able to find the bacon. I still smell it. It's here somewhere. Haven't found the bacon. A little disappointed.
Because we haven't given you a shot to go chase it down.
Exactly.
There's so many people to talk to.
Yeah.
We are live at the South Metro Denver Chamber Economic Forecast Breakfast. Industry leaders from every imaginable business industry in the South Metro Denver area is down here networking, building relationships, but most importantly, talking about what their industry is going to face in 2026. And we're talking with folks from every aspect, every different industry.
Yeah.
Pam Sullivan, Vice President of Communications and Philanthropy for Christian Living Communities, joins us now. Pam, we saw you last year.
Yeah, we did. It's good to be back and good to be with you again today.
Absolutely. Great to see you. Give us an update on how your industry is doing and what the forecast for 2026 looks like.
Forecast for 2026 is looking good. Things are fairly strong in the senior living industry. I'm in the nonprofit side of the business. Something that we're really concerned about, though, at the state level, well, it's at every level, is funding for Medicaid. Christian Living Communities has 7 communities that we are responsible for throughout the state. Of those, 5 have served the lower income older adults with Medicaid.
Wow.
And, you know, what came from the federal government to the state's trying to balance the budget. And Medicaid funding is on the chopping block. It's 36-ish% of the state budget.
Of the entire state budget. I mean, that's a big component.
Big thing. And Medicaid it's not just older adults. So it is women, children, it's emergency services, all those things. Everything's very important. The sector I serve, they're older adults. They don't have other options. And what I've heard, you know, we were at the legislative forecast breakfast a couple weeks ago. I brought up the Medicaid. What are lawmakers planning to do? And they didn't have a good answer yet.
No, I mean, Jared Polis has said this is now, as you mentioned, well over a third of our state budget, and it just keeps growing. So what's your response? Help people understand why it continues to grow and what should be done here.
Well, for our sector, and that's all I'm going to speak to, is the provider rates for what we're reimbursed for providing the care is not the same as the cost of the care. So for us, it's about 80%, give or take, depending on the part of the state you're in. And so for us, it's keeping up with the cost of living. So our increases for our staff, for their insurance and for their pay so that you can live, it's gone up 20%, but the reimbursement rates for Medicaid is only going up about 2.5%.
20% year over year?
Yeah, the insurance was really crazy this year.
Yeah.
And you know, people, the cost of living, everyone knows it's the cost of food, it's the cost of rent. Denver is really outpacing right now on what affordability as far as a city. So we want to really work with everyone. We want to help find some solutions. We don't believe in an across the board look at it. We think you really have to look at it by sector and what's best for those sectors. When we were talking at that breakfast, you know, Barbara Kirkmeyer was saying, let's go in with a scalpel and look at everything. We just really would like for anyone who cares about older adults to talk to their lawmakers and let them know that they care about Medicaid funding for older adults.
It's a big deal. We're talking with Pam Sullivan, Vice President of Communications and Philanthropy for Christian Living Communities. We just went through this personally in our family, where on one hand, with regards to the cost associated with senior care, the good thing was we were able to sell this family member's home in order to help cover the cost, because it was $8,000 a month. Family member had dementia, and it was progressing fast, so it was memory care. It wasn't just a place to live, but it was round the clock, 24 hours a day type of care, and that was at $8,000. And so we were able to kind of piece it together. We used Medicaid in order to help her, or Medicare, in order to help her get a bed that was adjustable. Those are expensive. But then the cost came out of our own pockets. But thankfully, due to high housing costs, we were able to sell and then be able to cover that. Talk to us about how families have to piece this care together in order to provide for their loved ones.
Your story is so typical of what we see. You do have to piece it together. It is expensive.
Yeah.
It is. You're paying for somebody's expertise as a nurse. You're paying for the lights to be on. You're paying for the medications. You're paying for all the food, all of that. So it is expensive. And your family was blessed to have you and to help them. Let me tell you a story about a woman we're supporting right now. She served 30 years as a school administrator. She did not marry or have children. And same thing, she had her home, she sold it, she paid for her care. She then got a life-altering diagnosis, and it ate up all of that money that she sold for her house. And so she's been in assisted living and it's a little bit less, assisted living's a little bit less than skilled nursing. And she's been there for 5 years, and she now is having to qualify for Medicaid because everything is gone. Because the cost of care and the cost of living is so much more where we're at. And she served us. She took care of all of our children, right? She was a school administrator. And here she is now, because of her dedication to her field, she doesn't have another support system. And so she's fearful that if she doesn't continue on Medicaid, she'll end up in a homeless shelter. I mean, that's a lot. Those are a lot of the stories we have. We do have people who have the family and the resources, and they piece things together, and then there's some that don't. And they're not just people who are living off the system. She contributed to the system for a very long time.
Wow.
Now, that's Pam Sullivan, Vice President of Communications and Philanthropy at Christian Living Communities. Talk to us a little bit about the environment inside of Christian Living Communities. What are the options for people that are looking for retirement care? Do you just offer assisted living? Do you do memory care? Do you do, even down to what I'm looking for is also the idea of medical care that is there inside of the facility. My mom's in a retirement community, and one of the biggest advantages, there is an entire medical wing. So when she was recovering from knee surgery, all of that PT, everything else was in-house. In fact, they came to her room for the first few weeks, and now everything she's doing to follow up is all in-house. What type of other services and levels of care do you offer?
Most of our communities are what are called continuum care retirement communities, so they do have every level of care and services, everything from an independent living apartment home to assisted living, memory support, skilled nursing, short-term and long-term, which is what you were describing. We have in-house rehab services. We also have a home care agency, so they can come into somebody in their independent living apartment home and support them. Yes. They also service the 5-county metro area here in Denver.
That's interesting. So they do that. Okay, so if people want to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with the Christian Living Communities, and what type of residents, if someone's unsure about mom or dad or the couple looking to get to that next step in life, they think mom and dad need to move out of that independent living, they need some assistance. I want to know, can you help them talk to mom and dad about this, and how do they get in touch with you to take a look at the facilities?
Sure. So our website is christianlivingcommunities.org. We're a nonprofit senior living organization. We've been in the area for 54 years. Our communities in the Denver metro area are Claremont Park, Holly Creek, Sommer and Glen, and Dayspring Villa. But if you go to that website, christianlivingcommunities.org, you can see all the different communities that offer the different levels of care. There's ways to contact whatever's near you, and we'll talk with you and help you through that process, because it is hard to understand what is the difference between assisted living and skilled nursing. A lot of people don't understand that, but there is a difference, and we can help you understand that, talk you through with that. And if the community you reach out to is not the right fit, they will refer you to another one.
What has been some of the biggest problems for families when they're bringing mom, dad, or the couple into the assisted living community? Many times, the parents are like, I don't want to give up my independence. I don't need this. You're just trying to fill in the blank.
Well, it is. And if you think about the aging process, there is a sense of loss of control. And so you really want to hang on to control. So we really advocate partnering with your older adults in your life, and really starting the conversations earlier than you think. Starting the conversation. What do you want? What is it that you see your life and the path in your life being? Our vision statement is creating communities where aging is honored and celebrated. So we really try and create lively communities where people can come and grow. We believe that the last chapter of life is one of the best chapters of life, and we really think there's still possibilities in life. So we would encourage people to think about senior living community before they actually need it, so they can get familiar with it, have a plan, and then that familiarity makes it a little bit easier for the move.
Now, can you talk to people in the audience in the Jeff and Bill show just a little bit about what those opportunities are in the Christian living communities? Because, I mean, we've all seen the sitcoms, we've seen the movies where the retirement community is a bunch of people in a common room and they've got 3 puzzles on a table and everybody's in their bathrobes. Is that what you see?
That is not what you see. And you, being a radio, would love this.
Oh, great.
Our community at Holly Creek has a radio station.
Oh, no way.
It's a completely resident-run radio station.
I'm going to go play Green Day.
You know where Bill and I are going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is really resident-directed. The residents pick what they want. We have groups and committees for everything. And we have people who've come to us who, really had high-powered jobs, and then they learn a new skill or a new craft. We have a gentleman who decided he wanted to learn pottery. He throws pots and loves it, and is just, and he was like an attorney or something like that. So there's new chapters of life all the time.
Pam Sullivan, VP of Communications and Philanthropy, Christian Living Communities. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
We will continue live from the South Metro Denver Chamber of Commerce Economic Forecast Breakfast. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show.
We are Denver's talk leader. This is News Talk 710 KNUS. We'll be right back.